Hey there YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with another video, and now we'll be talking about goldenrod. I've talked about this on the channel before. Goldenrod's a perennial, and a lot of people consider it a weed. It's, to me, very beautiful when in bloom, maybe not so much when it's just in these weedy areas, but I think that keeping them in an area where that's all you have, maybe mixed in with some other wildflowers, can really be beautiful, especially if you edge an area with some kind of landscape timbers or rock or something, or you have a designated spot. Goldenrod is a great animal fodder. I've used it for feeding my animals throughout the season. It will cut and come back, so you can basically like coppice it. It is a perennial, of course, so wherever you plant it, it'll come back every year. Puts on a ton of seed, and one of the things that really doesn't benefit me, but it does, is that it is a late bloomer. So here we are in the first part of October, and we've got flowers. A lot of bees and other pollinator insects use these, so it's great to have for your ecosystems, and it's also great if you have honeybees. A lot of people have bees and have to worry about them having enough forage, and bees will travel up to like a 5-mile radius from their hive, but it's so much better if you don't have to put that stress on the bees and you can supply them with the food that they need locally. So having stuff like goldenrod, and then throughout the season other flowers that they can access locally, is a great way to subsidize anything that you might have to do to keep your bees through the winter. I'm not a beekeeper, and so I'm not an expert on that stuff, but there's a lot of methods out there that you can look at. People not taking as much honey and supplying forage that's, 3-season forage. But yeah, so goldenrod, excellent plant. Like I said, I've made videos on it before, but I'm going back through and making some content, remaking some content, just to add a few things about the plants, and also to help people figure out ways to use plants that sometimes seem like they're a nuisance, but they can actually be extremely beneficial to us and our animals. One thing that I will mention is that the plants have a lot of galls on them. So right now you can see you've got some, I want to say they're called slave ants. Let me see if I can, let me turn it around and see if I can get zoomed in here enough. Okay, so we've got a slave ant colony in this gall. So galls are formed by insects, and I think those are slave ants, I'm not sure. But they're formed by insects, and the insect lays an egg inside the gall. A lot of times it's predatory wasp, and they grow a grub, and then the grub leaves and becomes another wasp and hunts stuff in your garden. So excellent insect habitat. Also, the stems can be hollowed out by certain types of bees that lay their larvae in the stalks. So tons of insect activity. Slave ants, a lot of times I think they're more just acorns. They will overtake galls and acorns that have like plum curculio in them. When they leave, they'll take over and they make it their home. There'll be colonies of normally like 40 or so, and they go around taking over other colonies and taking their larvae and making those larvae basically slaves for the colony. So tons and tons of insect activity there. You could just go on and on. I found tons of praying mantis egg sacs on goldenrod. So I mean, there's so many things. They're also medicinal, so you can get, if you like herbs and want to make home remedies, look into goldenrod. There's so many things that it can be used for. I'm not a real big expert on that stuff, so that'd be a little bit more of your own research. But yeah, check out goldenrod. Think about planting it. If you can find it locally, dig some up, transplant it, gather the seeds. It's a wonderful plant. I would not recommend, though, if you are going to grow it for animal forage, doing so as a sole staple in an animal's diet. I don't think there's enough research to really know what kind of minerals and what the protein content is for animals. So your animals may not do too well if you fed them just solely goldenrod, or solely any plant for that matter. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, found any value, learned something, please leave a like. If you've got any questions or comments, drop those down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do so. I appreciate all y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next one.